Assalamualaikum. Hello. Today you're going to be with me, Madam Shaz, and we are going to look at how to attempt the new format of SPM Paper 2. Right. For this part, we are going to look at part 3. Okay, in part 3, there are 3 options given, where you will choose one of the options to answer. Okay, now for this part, it is about 200 to 250. So about 4 paragraphs, that should be nice. 4 to 5, sorry. So about 5 paragraphs will be nice. Okay. Now for this part, don't write too long. So when you say the estimated words is between 200 to 250, don't write up to 300, 350 words. That is, you are taking time. Not that it's not allowed, it's just that you take time out of the time that you are supposed to be answering, right? Because the time given to you is similar to the previous format. That means the previous format, they have to write only 2 essays, but you have to write 3 essays. Okay, so do not spend waste your time writing more than necessary. Okay, now there are things that I want you to look at, so don't waste any more time. Let's take a look. The new paper format, at a glance, you have 4 papers to sit, and today we're going to look at paper 2, which is writing. The total mark for this paper is 60 marks, which will contribute to 25% of the overall mark in SPM. So today we're going to look at part 3, and in this part you will be given 3 questions. Let's take a look at the type of questions. The first one is a story. Let's read the question together. Your teacher has asked you to write a story for a school magazine. The story must have the title, A Dream Comes True. As you can see, I have highlighted the title. That means that is one of the requirements of the task needed in this question. If you are going to answer this question, you must use the title as your title. Your story should include a description of the dream, how the dream is achieved. Now notice that the 2 points were highlighted. That means you must describe and you must show in the story how the dream is achieved. It is the task requirement. Okay, if you can fulfill all these 3 requirements, you should be able to get full marks for your task requirement. To understand how this type of question is attempted, let's take a look at the sample answer. A dream comes true. Everyone has at least one dream that they want to fulfill in their lifetime. The interesting thing about a dream is that as long as you do not stop trying to reach it, it is going to come true. I have several dreams, and one of them was to play high school baseball at a senior high. Okay, so here you can see that this is the dream. This school has one of the most renowned baseball programs in the state, and I loved the game. I began playing baseball at an early age of 4, not long after I had been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. I enjoyed playing baseball, but my disease was slowing me down. As you can see here in the second paragraph, the description of the dream began here. Let's continue. When I was in 8th grade, preparing for high school, our class had a presentation in the gym about high school athletics and how to sign up for them. Naturally, I signed up for baseball. I was cut short and caught off guard when my guidance counselor pulled me to the side and asked to speak with me in her office. When I arrived, she began questioning me about my athletic decision because she too was familiar with my problem. She told me that I would never play high school baseball. I should take up a sport such as golf or swimming. I could not believe what I had just been told. There was no way that I was going to let a little muscular disorder keep me from fulfilling my dream. By the end of the year, I had made it clear to myself that I was going to prove the counselor wrong. I worked harder than ever on my game that summer. The school year was nearing and my excitement was growing. My dream comes true when I completed the school year, being announced as the best athlete of the year and made it to the high school baseball team. Here you can see in the last paragraph, that's how the dream was achieved. Now let's take a look at the second type of question. This question asks you to write about an article. You see the notice on this board outside the school library. Articles wanted. My school canteen. Now as you can see, the phrase my school canteen was highlighted. Therefore, if you choose to answer this question, then the title of your article should be my school canteen. What other types of food would you like to be served? Now here, one of the task requirements is to mention the types of food. Okay, what special facilities should your canteen have? For this task requirement, you need to mention the special facilities such as perhaps to have a television or maybe a food vending machine. Okay, and the next question is how can you improve your canteen? So you must give at least 1 or 2 suggestions to improve, for example in terms of service, okay, or maybe more rubbish bin. Yeah. Now for this question, I am not going to give you a sample answer, but I would like you to take a look at this sample article, okay, for us to view how it should look like. As you can see here, there is a title. Now you can actually refer this in your English download textbook. I would like to draw your attention to the layout, which is the paragraphing start from the margin, and please leave 1 line in between before you start a new paragraph. Let's take a look at the third question, which is on a review. You recently saw the notice in a magazine. Reviews required. Have you watched any interesting movies lately? Send us your movie review. Now this has been highlighted, which means you have to write a review. That is the format. Say what you enjoyed about the movie. Would you recommend the movie to your friends? Why? Okay, as you can see here, there are three other words that I have highlighted. Okay, which means that are the task requirements of the question. You must answer these questions in order to get full mark for your task requirement. And I would like to draw attention to the last sentence there. The best reviews will be published in our newsletter. So the reader here will be the school students. Now this is a very important piece of information because it will set the tone of your review. Now let's take a closer look at what makes a good review. What are the highlighted words for? Now let's check it together. Okay, the green highlighted words, the Hunger Games. Yes, that's the title. What about the Sci-Fi Adventure 2013? Right, that's the genre of the film. Should we put it there? No, it's not necessary. Let's take a look at the yellow. The yellow word starts with in the future. Yes. So the writer is writing the synopsis, but do not write the ending of it. Okay, now what about the pink color? I love the action. So this is where the opinion comes in. Okay, all right. And what about the orange color? Go and watch it. Okay, so that is a suggestion whether the friend or whoever is reading it should watch it. So here are the tips for writing a review. Now let's do a little exercise on how to write a review. Now to help you with that, I have prepared a review template, and you can get this template in the PDF template link in the description below. You may print it and use it for your practice. Now before we begin, of course, we need to have a movie in mind. So for the purpose of our training today, let's do this movie. It's called Meet the Parents.
It's an antique polygraph machine. Why don't you try that on?
That's okay.
Oh, come on, we'll have some fun.
Greg, my father was never in the rare flower business.
Don't worry, you'll enjoy this. Have you ever watched pornographic videos?
No.
Relax, the needles are jumping.
He was in the CIA for 34 years.
Meet the Parents.
You big bad CIA man? They teach you that in the CIA? You have another question? Sure, I got one question for you. Do I think you're a psycho? Yes.
That's my future son-in-law.
Can you deal with that?
So the title of the movie is Meet the Parents. Okay, and in paragraph 1, you should write the plot synopsis. Now, how do you write a plot synopsis? So you ask yourself these questions. What is the movie about, and what happens in the movie? To help you out, here is a sample. Meet the Parents is a comedy about a man who meets his girlfriend's family for the first time. So what happens in the movie? Instead of impressing them, he got into a lot of trouble and embarrassing moments. Now that should be enough because we don't want telling people what happened in the end. Now let's take a look at paragraph 2. Now the first question is, what is the interesting part of the movie? In this movie, the father played by Robert De Niro shows the typical father-in-law who is strict and choosy. So what is interesting? This made the lead actor, Greg, played by Ben Stiller, got into so much trouble. Now you already have a great analysis of the movie. So what should we write next? So in paragraph 3, you write the example of the interesting parts that you have mentioned in paragraph 2. Now because we have mentioned trouble in the paragraph 2, so what are the troubles? This can be seen when Greg had to answer some questions by his girlfriend's father by taking a polygraph test. The problems he faces will have you in stitches. Now as you can see, the word in stitches here is an idiom. It means laughing non-stop. So what should you write in paragraph 4? Here you will write a reflection. What are the similarities of the movie to your life? So you can say, this movie is so relatable to our problems that we have to face in our daily life. We do have love problems, family problems, and embarrassing moments. The word relatable here means you can make connection to your daily life, something that is similar or suitable. Now what should we write in the last paragraph? So we write the conclusion. Ask yourself, how do you find the movie? That means, how do you feel about the movie? Is it funny? Is it interesting enough? And would you recommend the movie to your friend? Okay, so let's take a look at the sample. Overall, This is a great movie with a mix of a ton of laughs and a love story all rolled into one. If you are looking for a pick-me-up or to laugh hysterically, this is undoubtedly the movie for you. So the word pick-me-up here is an idiom that means to lift your feeling, to make you happy. Okay, a movie that will make you happy. Now let's put all our answers together to make one nice review. This is how it should look like. You start with a title on top. It can be on the left or in the middle. Okay, and then start your paragraphing from the margin, as you can see here. Okay, and then please leave one line in between the paragraphs, okay, to show that you are moving from paragraph 1 to paragraph 2. Now, if possible, whenever possible, try to use the cohesive devices. For example, we have used overall for our cohesive device in the last paragraph. Yes, we did not use so much cohesive devices in other paragraphs, but we actually have substituted it with in the movie. Okay, and then I think so those are the words that can replace a cohesive device. And last but not least, practice makes perfect. Now that you have seen the 3 questions and how to answer, okay, the questions, how to attempt, alright, I hope you will do more practice on it. So please be careful in this part. There are questions where you have to be extra formal, okay. For example, writing a report to the principal, that one should be very formal. Okay, if it's a formal letter, then it will have to be very formal too. Okay, but if you're writing a review, okay, especially to the school magazine, then you can be a little more relaxed, the tone. Okay, so be careful with the tone of your writing, the style of your writing. That means who you are writing to. Okay, that should be taken into account. Using contraction, again, it has to be, you have to look at the tone of the essay. If it is a very formal essay, then you try not to use so much contraction, okay. But if it is a more, how do you say this, a more relaxed essay like a review, that one you can use some contraction but not too many. Be careful. Now some students ask, I have time, I want to write 500 words, okay, because I have so much to write about. Okay, I want to show off all this vocabulary that I have. Okay, I'm not saying don't, but remember, it is very important that you know that the requirements are given to you. Like for example, write between 200 to 250 for a reason. They want to see if you are able to write within that limited words. You are able to write a very good narrative or a very good essay, a very good formal letter, or a very good report within that limited number of words. So the challenge in this writing part is not about how long you can write. It's about the sentence structure that you use in this type of writing. Okay, we look into sentence structure, okay, and also vocabulary. Now, vocabulary. Talking about vocabulary, some students have very good vocabulary. They say, oh, I have all this, I memorized this word, gigantic, magnificent, I want to use it all. Okay, now remember that vocabulary has to be used correctly, precisely, aptly. Okay, that means it has to be the meaning has to be suitable to the sentence or what you are trying to say. Okay, you can't just simply put the words inside that sentence. Sometimes it might be incorrect. Okay, so do lots of reading and then do lots of practice. Okay, do lots of practices and then show it to your teacher. perhaps then maybe you will start to pick up how you can actually score this type of questions. Okay, I'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and take care.